United lost one Brazilian midfielder and replaced him with a new one.
So, Manchester United have agreed to sign Ederson for £35 million plus £4 million in add-ons.
No more Casemiro, but welcome Ederson.
He's the player I thought Liverpool would have got when Fabinho left Liverpool. Outstanding player.
So hopefully Ederson will be able to go in there and do a good sterling job like Casemiro did.
He's a very different profile of midfielder than Casemiro, but here are the stats just to compare. Ederson has significantly less goals and assists, less chances created, but his passing accuracy, both from short and long range passing, were better, and he won more duels by fouling less. For years, Casemiro gave United defensive security, physicality, and experience in the middle of the park, but as his contract came to an end, United were left with a huge gap to fill.
When Manuel Ugarte came in to that central midfield position, I thought he'd be a great fit for United. And that one clearly hasn't worked out, has it?
While Ugarte brought plenty of energy and aggression, he struggled to do basically anything else. That left United needing a new type of midfielder. Not just someone who could kick shins, but someone who could survive the physical demands of English football while also helping the team play through pressure. That's where Ederson comes in.
But one thing is, United, you need a little bit more on the ball about you, don't you, than Ugarte has brought. And I think that the strength of this Ederson move is that he gives you the ball-winning capacity of Ugarte with much more as well, much more dynamism.
He's a midfielder who never stops running.
You can see the influence he has on the game all over the pitch. This is his touch map for Atalanta in the Champions League last season. As expected, there is a bit of cluster, or a few clusters over the left-hand side of the pitch. They're playing this way. Clearly, though, he's a player who physically wants to get all over the pitch, and he has the capabilities to get on the ball absolutely anywhere.
He loves pressing the opponent. He loves chasing loose balls. He loves getting into physical battles and making life miserable for the opponent. When his teams lose possession, he's often the first player sprinting to win it back.
You can also see, though, that Ederson is a really strong performer as well. He's averaging just under 2.5 tackles per game and completing nearly 50 passes per game as well, which means he's very effective both with and without the ball.
When you look at his tackles and interceptions from the 2026 season, you see a player who loves to get involved defensively in the middle of the park.
As you can see, Ederson is predominantly taking up a position in the middle of the pitch on that left-hand side. And these dotted lines, if you can see them here and here, show the most common runs he makes. You can see that not only does he burst forward, he also tracks back to cover the centre of the pitch.
That's why Michael Carrick and Manchester United see him as such an important piece of their midfield rebuild.
He's a little bit of everything. He's not a specialist in any one thing. And that gives Michael Carrick lots of lovely options, doesn't it, in the way that he wants to build his midfield.
Especially given that United got Champions League football again and will be back to playing in multiple competitions again. The Brazilian is 6 foot and very good at using his body to win the ball. Get Ederson side on with the opponent and he'll use his shoulders, elbows, hips, whatever is needed to ensure he wins his 1v1 duel. This is a player who earned every step of his career the hard way. Born in Brazil, Ederson came through the youth ranks at Desportivo Brasil before spending time with Cruzeiro, where he got his first real taste of senior football. Even during Cruzeiro's disastrous relegation season in 2019, he stood out as one of the few positives in a team falling apart around him. After leaving Cruzeiro, he joined Corinthians before being sent on loan to Fortaleza. It was there that he truly made a name for himself. Playing as the engine of the midfield, he helped Fortaleza achieve one of the greatest seasons in the club's history and qualify for the Copa Libertadores. European clubs quickly took notice. A move to Italy followed with Salernitana, where Ederson immediately impressed. In just a few months, he became one of the key reasons the club pulled off a miracle escape from relegation. His performances were so good that Atalanta moved quickly to sign him, and that's where he took the next big step. Under Gianpiero Gasperini, Ederson developed into one of Serie A's best all-around midfielders. He won the Europa League, gained Champions League experience, and earned a call-up to the Brazilian national team.
And, it was 2 years ago that he was a key part of the side that won the Europa League.
Under Gasperini, he was usually partnered with Martin de Roon or Koopmeiners in a two-man midfield. Atalanta became famous for their relentless man-to-man pressing. Every player was expected to hunt the ball, win duels, and make life uncomfortable for the opposition. Ederson thrived in that environment. Atalanta completely overwhelmed Xabi Alonso's previously unbeaten Bayer Leverkusen side, winning 3-0 and producing one of the most dominant European final performances in recent years. That match perfectly captured what Gasperini's Atalanta were all about. He's still a player who covers massive distances. He reads passing lanes extremely well, spots the problems early, and shuts attacks down before the opponents can build momentum. That's why so many coaches love him. What also makes him so valuable is his versatility. In Atalanta, he played in multiple midfield roles depending on what the team needed. Sometimes he was a box-to-box midfielder, other times he dropped deeper and helped control the game from the base of midfield like a deep-lying six. No matter the role, the same strengths always stood out. The first one is his engine. The guy can run all day. He presses aggressively, tracks runners, covers huge amounts of ground, and rarely looks tired regardless of how intense the match becomes. Then there's his defensive intelligence. This is not a midfielder who just loves flying into reckless tackles every minute. As I mentioned earlier, he reads the game extremely well. He anticipates passes, closes passing lanes, and then wins the ball. He seems to know when the danger is developing before anybody else does, allowing him to intercept passes and recover possession before the attacks become serious threats. Then once he wins the ball, he's quick to move things forward. He keeps possession moving. He plays simple passes under pressure and helps his team transition quickly from defending into attack. That's exactly what Manchester United have been missing, especially since Ugarte can't do the basics. For years, United's midfield also lacked athleticism, ball-winning ability, and just general defensive awareness. Despite playing one of the most physically demanding roles in football, he has an excellent injury record and has regularly played over 3,000 minutes a season. That durability is a huge asset for a team trying to rebuild. Michael Carrick wants a midfield that can run harder, defend better, and provide a stronger platform for the attacking players around them. Ederson looks exactly like the kind of signing that Manchester United needed. More importantly, he fits exactly what Carrick wants from his midfield. Since taking charge, Carrick has fully committed to the 4-2-3-1 system. His system is built around controlling games through the middle of the pitch. The goal is to keep possession, move the ball quickly, and play through the opposition pressure rather than around it. That requires midfielders who are comfortable constantly receiving the ball and moving it on. Ederson excels at that. He's not a spectacular passer, but he's reliable. He loves receiving it under pressure, playing a quick pass, moving into space, and then immediately offering another passing option. That reliability also helps someone like Bruno Fernandes. In recent seasons, Bruno has often been forced to drop extremely deep just to help United progress the ball. With Ederson handling most of the build-up work, Bruno can spend more time in advanced positions where he's the most dangerous. Mainu's biggest strengths are his technique, composure, and ability to escape pressure in tight spaces. What he doesn't have is elite recovery speed or endless physical endurance. Ederson helps solve that problem. When Mainu pushes forward, joins the attack, or presses aggressively, Ederson has the athleticism to cover the space left behind. He can slide across the pitch, protect passing lanes, and do the defensive work that allows Mainu to focus on his strengths. Then there's his ability to carry the ball. While Carrick wants United to dominate possession, there are still plenty of games where quick transitions are needed. That's one of Ederson's most dangerous qualities. For a team with quick attackers ahead of him, like Mbumo, Mateus Cunha, that's a valuable weapon. So the signing makes a lot of sense. He's somebody entering the prime years of his career. He's already proven himself in Serie A and European football. United are trying to become more dynamic and more difficult to play against. And that's exactly why Ederson was identified as such an important target. He's not the type of midfielder who's going to split open a defense with a brilliant pass or constantly create chances for his teammates. His passes are safe and simple. He's way more focused on keeping possession rather than taking risks. And Ederson actually gets himself into some really good attacking positions. He's got a great habit of making late runs into the box and often arrives in areas where goals can be scored. When there's space in front of him, Ederson is a strong ball carrier who can drive through the midfield and help launch attack. He's not especially agile and he doesn't have that natural press resistance of somebody like Kobbie Mainoo. If teams press him aggressively in central areas, he can occasionally look uncomfortable and give the ball away in dangerous positions. The solution, at least on paper, is very simple. Have him move the ball quickly and not hold on to it for too long. That's something that Carrick and his coaching staff will likely work on immediately. Then there's obviously always the question about how his game will translate to the Premier League. Ederson is a genuine upgrade on what United currently have.